When I pledged to complete Bloodborne, I was expecting experiences in the bosses similar to Dark Souls 3, but instead, they're not very exciting bosses. Welcome back, Classy Crew, to another Bloodborne journal where I have pledged to play through all of Bloodborne, fighting all 22 bosses, and journaling my adventure doing that. If you're into that, be sure to subscribe, follow along on the channel to get the next journals once every week. But today I'm going to talk about why the bosses, at least so far, I'm about 6 bosses into this game, and they are really not rewarding me the way I was expecting them to. They're feeling more like Dark Souls 1 bosses than Dark Souls 3 bosses. And that might make sense if I think I recall Bloodborne came out before Dark Souls 3, and of course after Bloodborne 1, or after Dark Souls 1. So that might be what I'm seeing here. But I'm gonna share with you the last 2 streams, what I've experienced, and I'm gonna talk through the bosses and also share. Actually, let's just get it out of the way. The thing with the bosses in this game is they're fast, they're aggressive, but a lot of their mechanics is just, they're not leaving an impression on me. They're just leaving me like either I don't feel anything, I kill them and I feel nothing, which was a famous quote I did about Dark Souls 1, or I'm just kind of frustrated because I'm not getting it. And that could be on me. I will take credit there that it could be my fault and it could click eventually. I've seen it in other games. But maybe we'll be able to explore that more when I go actually boss by boss. So let's start about going back into Bloodborne after my first experience of it a few years back during the 12 days of Hey Jay, a few days back. The first thing coming back to Bloodborne in now the journal mindset is I was really struggling with the hardware. I'm running this on a base PS4 and I am done with this console. I am so ready to move on. Like the base PS4 is showing its age, but man, the frames per second on Bloodborne just like hit me like a truck. Like, oh man, why does this suck so much? I don't remember it being so bad. Now, to be fair, I have been playing a lot of games, modern games, all on PC recently, so I am getting more of that smoother experience. I think it's a lot more jarring going to the PS4. Also, I had gone into online mode, and I think that was like just tanking the frames per second because of all these like bone messenger dudes sticking out everywhere. So I turned that off and it helped to some degree, but it's still pretty clunky. Really don't like that. Don't like the load screens. So when you die, you have to wait longer. And now for some reason, I think my controller, my PlayStation 4 controller, I think it's starting to drift. And I'm like, what is this nonsense? That's a Joy-Con problem on a Nintendo Switch. Why are you drifting now? To be fair, it's getting close to a decade old. So maybe it's time I either upgrade or just... Well, I can't. I have to play Bloodborne on PS4. That's the only place you can do it. But maybe I could upgrade to a Pro. So anyways, hardware is an issue. Where I had left off last time, I think it was just before the Church of the Good Chalice, if I remember right. Either way, I was getting into the game starting with the Blood-Starved Beast. That was the next boss that was just around the corner. And fair warning, I do not know the difference between an optional boss and a story boss. Another theme I'm going to share today is I have been so lost in this game. I'm at the point where I just don't know where to go. I go this way, I run into a dead end. I go that way, I run into another dead end. And it's not making sense to me, which maybe people love that because I heard Dark Souls 1. That's one thing people love, being able to explore. They took that away in Dark Souls 3. I personally loved the linearity and the direction of Dark Souls 3. But here we are in Bloodborne, lost like a chicken without a head. So the Blood-Starved Beast, let's talk about this experience, which was at the bottom of the old Yorham. First thing was the contrast on this boss. I just couldn't make out what was attacking me. All I saw was dark, blood, and anger. And the lighting is low, and I just had trouble seeing it. And this is a common theme in a lot of my boss fights. It's just like, what is going on? What are you doing? Like, I cannot see the animation right. And I don't know if it's the brightness on my screen's too low, or if it's the fact that as a content creator, I've got a light blasting in my eye. But it's not a problem in a lot of other games and a lot of things. But this one stood out as, I'm like, where's the front? Where's the butt? Where do I attack? But for all of my complaints, this boss was actually one of my more enjoyed bosses. The first time I went in with a summon because I didn't realize I was close to a boss, so I brought a dude with me and we lost. I'm like, I want to do this boss on my own. I think I can get it. So I died a few times, but it's a boss I was actually able to learn its tales of like, okay, It's going to attack me when it like does this. If it does this, I move. If I do this, that gives me the opening. And it was perfect because I learned how to dance with this boss. And I love using that term because when it clicks and you get the dance, it was good. So it was all about dodge, swoosh, swoosh, dodge, swoosh, swoosh, and he went down. Another thing is my switching ability seems to have gone down since my first stream on this. So I wasn't getting my hits in as fluidly and as good as I was the first time, which I don't know what happened there, but that threw off my game a lot, and it also threw off my appetite for the game a little bit because I was like, this was so fun and addicting last time, and now I'm getting smacked everywhere. I'm not switching my blade properly. What is going on? I think I was just having an off day. Anyways, from there, we got the ability to unlock the Chalice Dungeon, which I went and took a peek at, and I made my way to my first boss, which was an undead giant, and I didn't like that. He pummeled me. Actually, you walk into the room, there's a portal. It's your first time here. You're like, what's going on? What is this? And out of the portal comes a massive giant that jumps at you and smacks the life out of the living daylight, the life out of you. So I kind of tried 2-3 more times on that, and then I noped, left, kept exploring, and the exploration, I really am enjoying the exploration more than the boss fights in this game, which is different than in Dark Souls, where I was enjoying more of the boss fights than the exploration. So I met a lady of the night who sells her flesh, if you know what I mean. And finally, I made a friend. She came back with me to the Church of Sanctuary or Sanctity, whatever it is. So we have a safe place in the world, which is massively different unless someone attacks it. And I get to bring friends back to this place. I love this concept. In these dark horror games, to have a nice little safe place that you can recruit people, bring them there and feel safe, it's good. It's like the Firelink Shrine I had in Dark Souls until somebody went and killed my Firekeeper and just ruined it for everybody. So that happened. What else? The next boss that stream and the final one was Vicar Amelia, which this is the boss that I wasn't even mad. I fought it and I was like, I don't like you. I just don't like you. Again, I couldn't quite make out what it was doing. If I would get close to hit it, I was stuck under all of its toilet paper. This thing is overly complex in what its design. I don't know why they wanted to give it so much toilet paper, but you get close, you're under the toilet paper. You get far, it's just toilet paper everywhere, and you're like, how do I attack this thing? What is it? Like, what is its shape? It's like a four-legged creature. I understand that part, but I had so much troubles making it out. Again, I went in with a summon on this one. Every time I hit it, like, its health was barely budging, so I don't know if I was under-leveled or my weapon was under-leveled, but I was not doing a lot of damage on this thing. But I kept hacking away, sticking to the butt. I think it was the butt. It was under a lot of toilet paper. I don't know. And I finally killed it, and I was just like, nope. I don't need to fight this thing ever again. I don't want to fight this thing ever again. It was not cool. It was not fun. It was just in the way. And then from there, I got the amulet. We learned about the code, which was Fear the Old Blood, which, again, also the story, I have no idea what's going on. But to be fair, I never know what's going on in the Soulsborne games. So, you play through it, and then you figure out the story after of like, oh, that's how it all connects. At least that's how I play. Now, the second stream was a lot more fun. I was a bit more on my game this time. I experimented with a lot of different weapons. I experimented with 2 additional weapons. So I've been using my switch saw, and I tried the Kirk hammer, which was the chat's most voted weapon of choice. And I love the Kirk hammer. I love the fact that you have a big slab of metal on your back, a sword that you shove in the slab of metal, and then you just smack everybody in front of you with it. It's great because you can just go barreling with your hammer. You get hit, it doesn't matter because you're doing so much damage. You recover your health by smacking the hammer. So I went through a little bit of a period of just smashing everything in my sight with this hammer. It's not my preferred playstyle, so I did switch back to the switch saw. And then, of course, I had to try the hunter axe because in so many games, I always got to try the axe. So I got the axe. Love the idea that it's like a one-handed axe, and then you can switch it into like a long, I don't know what you call it, like a javelin with an axe. But it didn't click with me for the moveset. I really love the morphing ability, and they all morph, but I feel the switch, not the switch axe, the switch saw morphs within the melee and actually does damage, whereas switching your hammer or switching your axe kind of leaves you massively open for attack, and it usually fails for me. So Yeah, the Kirk hammer is my new like secondary weapon. So if I have a place that's a little hard to get through and I can't parry or I can't like just mash people, I go in with the hammer. I was like, all right, get out the way, get out the way. So from there, I made my way down. Again, I'm lost. So I keep going back to this Church of Sanctity, going in a direction, seeing where that takes me. So this time I made it to a place where it was the Witch of Hemwick. And I go and I kill the first thing and it dies in 3 hits. And the health bars there, I'm like, oh, this is the gimmick fight. All right, let's figure out the gimmick. Like right away, the trigger went off. So I start like running around. I see a red light, and then there's like an old lady there, and I start hacking her, and I see like the life go down. I was like, aha, here's the gimmick. And then I thought I got it, but then sometimes I'd hit the old lady, and the health bar wouldn't go down. I was like, what is going on here? So I got confused. I'm like, maybe I have to kill the mobs to be able to unlock the health of the old lady so I can smack that health down. So then I was just killing everything and nothing was working. I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I just got to keep wailing on this like little old lady because sometimes the health goes down, sometimes it doesn't. And then I learned, well, I didn't learn. I discovered that there are 2 old ladies and one of them is not showing their health bars. So there's a second gimmick to the main gimmick. But that didn't stop us. First try, we got it. And then that unlocked the ability for me to get runes. I love the fact that runes is even a thing in this game. I love that you can have multiple runes active. I did not write which ones I activated. I'll share that in the next journal. And then after that, I made it to a place. So, okay, before we get to that place, I wandered to another area. So where we fought Amelia. Okay, I'm going to contextualize it if you've played the game. Where you fight Amelia is a church. And you make your way down from wherever you are. Let's say from the Church of Sanctity, the safe place, you make your way down to the Amelia Church. And then that's a dead end. But you can backtrack just before going to the church. You can go right or you can go left. If you go left, that's like the forest and that's where the Witch of Hemwick is. And that's a dead end. You unlock the rune ability, but it's a dead end. If you go right, that is a heck of a lot of pain, heck of a lot of monsters. And all of that, just discover it's a freaking dead end. There's a big like ghostly monster and I tried to open the door and he's just like, ugh, and he like fondles you and tosses you aside with half your health. It wasn't a pleasant experience. So I had to get myself out of there. And where did I go from there? Oh, I went to, so I got captured by the bagman who sent you in prison into this new place. So that opened up a new portal for me. Portal by like fast travel. So I decided, all right, let's go explore that. So I fought some big pigs. I ran away from lots of bagmen. I killed some dogs and I came across a beast here called the Darkbeast Paarl. And so Amelia, I didn't care for. Paarl, I hated this boss. So I got up, like I ran up to him, swipes me twice, I'm dead. And I'm just like, okay, did I do something wrong? So I go back, I summon a friend, swipe twice, dead. I was like, what is going on? So I'm like trying to go behind him, swipe, dead. I try to go in front of him, swipe, dead. And people are like, oh, you got it. People are like detailing strategies in the chat. And I was like, guys, I can't even survive the initial swipe. I can't dodge this and I can't position myself. Forget your strategy. I can't even make it past like the first little bit of the fight. So this was really like pissing me off. I'm like, am I just under leveled? I think if I recall right, I'm in my 40s in terms of levels. So it sounds like I'm right. My weapon is leveled up all the way. I think I'm at like +6 or +7. I've got some gems on those things to like get everything in my arsenal. I've got maxed out and optimized to the best of my ability. But this thing, I just couldn't figure it out. One thing that was throwing me off was the targeting. So you can target the body or the head, and the camera was just going wild and messing with me and I just couldn't see. So I turned off the targeting. I tried to stay near its legs, and I know you can do more damage on the head. And I did the summon, and somehow the summon was keeping the aggro on him, and I was just wailing with him on this beast, and it died. I'm just like, I don't even want to do this again. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying these fights. And it's so wild because the boss fights is what I loved about the Dark Souls games and the Monster Hunter games. I don't know if it hasn't clicked yet, or if these bosses specifically are bad and it gets better after, but it's jarring when like I thought I finally understood how to fight Dark Souls bosses, and now Bloodborne is giving me this. And it's so hit or miss. Like some bosses I get them in my first try, and then some bosses are just absolutely horrendous where I just can't figure out how I'm supposed to use the mechanics of the game with the mechanics of the boss. And yeah, it's either like a cheese fight, like Amelia, I was just smacking on the butt, and then this Paarl thing, I can't even tell you how I beat it. It just, with the summon keeping its attention mostly. So that paired with the hardware problems of an old PS4, paired with a few additional things I don't like about Bloodborne, and like this list might grow, but the fact that your blood vials, the potions, you have to go out of your way to buy them or restock them. When you're stuck on a boss and you deplete your reserves of potions, you then have to travel back and either go to a place where you can farm them. I farm them on the bridge at the beginning, or you have to go farm the souls, whatever they're called, and buy the potions. That's like a time sink that Dark Souls just didn't have, you know, when you die. And I'm actually appreciating mechanics of Dark Souls, which is crazy. So the blood vial, I really don't like that aspect. The travel, the fast travel, you always have to travel back to the hub to travel somewhere else. Add in the disgusting load screens of the PS4, it sours the experience there. So if you get stuck on a boss with a wall, you have to load screen your way back somewhere to farm out some blood vials, to load screen your way back to the boss, to die again, to load screen your, like, it's not a good loop when you start failing. That's what I'm trying to say. Because all those things come together and it's just not so good. At this point, I'm trying to remember where I am. I think I am still lost. I don't know where to go from here. Yeah, I don't know. I feel I've exhausted all my options on where to go. And people keep telling me, go back to the protective church and go out this different path. And I'm like, there are like 3 paths out of this church. I've explored all 3 of them. They've all led me to dead ends. I don't know where to go from here. It's not, I think the first stream I did, like, it was more linear and it was brighter. I remember there was more lighting. I could see better and it felt like there was purpose. But right now, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing it. And I'm just running into like these bosses which are not enjoyable. So I went from like being super hyped, pledging the game, and now it's just sour. I'm still in it because we pledged, but I'm like, oh man, did I make a mistake pledging this? Does this game get better? Like, I know there's fans, and I know a lot of you have said Bloodborne is the best Soulsborne you've played. A lot, like the majority of you have said this is the best Soulsborne. I'm like, I hope it gets better because right now it just keeps like racking it up some hate points against it. So we'll see where we go next. I literally don't know where to go, but I'm sure I'll figure it out on the next stream. So I'll see you there or on the next journal. And until next time, keep it classy. Do 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 do. Subscribe.